the inheritance. Sarah had always been close with her grandmother. They would spend hours together, talking about everything from the latest books to the family history. So when her grandmother passed away, Sarah was devastated. But as she sat in the lawyer's office, listening to the reading of the will, she felt a glimmer of hope. Her grandmother had left her something, a small box, wrapped in brown paper, and a note that simply said, "For Sarah." Curious, Sarah opened the box. Inside was an ornate key, made of silver and gold, with intricate engravings that glinted in the light. It was unlike any key she had ever seen before. She turned it over in her hand, feeling the weight of it. But there was something else in the box, a piece of paper, folded neatly in half. Sarah unfolded it, and read the words written in her grandmother's flowing script. "Find the door it unlocks, and the truth will be revealed." Sarah frowned. What did that mean? What door? And what truth? She spent the rest of the day lost in thought, turning the key over and over in her hand. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was something important about it, something that her grandmother had wanted her to know. As the sun began to set, Sarah slipped the key into her pocket and headed home. She had a feeling that this was just the beginning of a much larger mystery. The search begins. The following day, Sarah woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. She was determined to find the door that the key unlocked, no matter how long it took. She spent hours scouring her grandmother's house for any clues, looking through old photo albums, reading through journals, and even checking the furniture for hidden compartments. But no matter how hard she looked, she couldn't find anything that pointed her in the right direction. It was as if her grandmother had taken the secret to her grave. Sarah started to feel frustrated and discouraged. Maybe it was all just a joke, a way for her grandmother to play one last trick on her. But then she remembered something. Her grandmother had always loved puzzles and riddles. Maybe the key was just the first piece of a larger puzzle. With that in mind, Sarah began to investigate the key itself. She noticed that there were tiny symbols etched into the surface, each one unique and intricate. She spent hours researching the symbols, trying to find a pattern or a clue. And finally, after many false starts and dead ends, she found something that caught her eye. One of the symbols was a series of interconnected circles, with a small dot in the center. Sarah recognized it as an ancient symbol of protection, used by a secret society of scholars and magicians. Her heart racing, Sarah realized that this might be the key to unlocking the mystery. If her grandmother had been involved in this society, then maybe they would know what the key unlocked. Determined to find out more, Sarah set out to track down the society and unravel the mystery of the lost key. The society. Sarah spent the next few weeks digging deeper into the symbol of the secret society. She scoured ancient texts and manuscripts, and even reached out to experts in the field to see if they could help her decipher the meaning of the symbol. Finally, after much searching, she found a reference to a small community of scholars who were rumored to be part of the society. They were said to be located in a remote part of the country, hidden away from prying eyes. Sarah knew she had to go there. With the key burning a hole in her pocket, she set out on a journey to find the society and uncover the truth behind her grandmother's legacy. The journey was long and difficult, but eventually, she arrived at the small village that was rumored to be the location of the society. She found a small and unsettled inn, determined to uncover more information. The villagers were tight-lipped and wary of outsiders, but Sarah was persistent. Finally, she managed to convince a local merchant to introduce her to one of the society's members. The member, an elderly man with a long beard and kind eyes, listened carefully to her story. He examined the key and the note from her grandmother, and then nodded thoughtfully. "Yes, I think we may have some information that can help you," he said, and led her into a small room lined with ancient books and artifacts. Sarah was awestruck as she looked around the room. She could feel the weight of history in the air. The man handed her a leather-bound book, its pages yellowed with age. "This is a record of the society's most important artifacts," he said. "And it just so happens that there is a mention of a key that matches the description of the one you hold." Sarah's heart skipped a beat as she opened the book. And there it was, a description of a key that looked just like hers. "It unlocks a door to a chamber that holds one of the greatest secrets of the society," the man said. "But beware, the chamber is guarded by a powerful magic that can only be broken by the one who holds the key." Sarah felt a sense of excitement and fear wash over her. This was it, the moment she had been waiting for. She thanked the man and set out to find the door that the key unlocked, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The chamber. Sarah followed the clues in the book and eventually found herself in front of an old, weather-beaten door. It looked like it hadn't been opened in decades. She took a deep breath and inserted the key into the lock. It turned easily, and the door creaked open with a loud groan. Inside, she found a small chamber lit by a dim glow. In the center of the room stood an ancient pedestal, and on top of the pedestal sat a small box. Sarah approached the pedestal with trepidation, but as she got closer, she could feel the magic in the air. It was both terrifying and exhilarating. With shaking hands, she reached for the box and slowly lifted the lid. Inside, she found a small piece of parchment with a message written in her grandmother's elegant handwriting. "My dearest Sarah," the message began. "If you are reading this, it means that you have followed the clues and found the chamber. Congratulations, my love. You have passed the test. But there is one final challenge that lies ahead. Take the parchment and follow the instructions carefully. And remember, no matter what happens, I will always be with you." Sarah's heart was racing as she read the message. She took the parchment and began to read. The instructions were cryptic and confusing, but eventually, she pieced together their meaning. She had to perform a series of rituals and incantations to unlock the true power of the key. Sarah took a deep breath and began to follow the instructions. As she chanted the ancient words and performed the ritual, she could feel the magic surging through her. And then, with the blinding flash of light, it was over. Sarah collapsed to the ground, exhausted but exhilarated. When she finally looked up, she saw that the chamber had transformed. The walls were now covered in intricate carvings and symbols, and the air was thick with power. Sarah knew that she had unlocked the true potential of the key, and that her grandmother's legacy would live on through her. As she left the chamber and made her way back to the outside world, Sarah felt a sense of satisfaction and purpose that she had never felt before. She knew that she had finally found her true calling, and that she would continue to uncover the mysteries of the world, one lost key at a time.